We'll see this game between Alexander Alekhine versus Peter Arsenievich Romanovsky. And this was played in Russian Championship Amateur St. Petersburg. Okay, this was 10th round in 1909. So we will see this game, wonderful game of Alexander Alekhine, of course, world champion, very good player. But yes, in this game, he was white and the opponent was also quite good. Peter Arsenievich Romanovsky. So yeah, both are looking like Russian. And let's see the game. Alekhine starts with e4. His opponent plays e5, knight c3. Okay, Alekhine starts now with knight c3 on the second move. So Vienna game, we have this knight f6 now on the board, and then bishop c4, bishop c5, d3, okay, and then h6. So black doesn't want this bishop g5, so he stopped it. f4. So Alekhine says, yes, let's attack on this side. He made attack. Okay, if the pawn capture, he has support, and you would be happy to get the bishop with tempo. So that's fine. d6 gave support. Okay, instead of capturing and allowing the opponent to develop the piece, it's a good idea. You give support like this and open your own piece. Okay. f5. So white says, no, I will not allow the bishop to come out over here and not even here. So f5 is looking good. At least stop this and giving more squares control, or you can say space advantage for white. Knight c6 development. The knight is controlling important squares, and anytime he can get the knight to d4, which would be nice. a3, Alekhine first control this. He doesn't want this. But if you see, if you play in the side, at least in the first 10 moves, it's not so great because you're not developing one of the piece and you're playing slightly passive. Okay, just one controlled, one square you have controlled and not so many. If you would have played, suppose like knight f3, it would have controlled so many. If you would have played, like suppose queen e2 for bishop e3, then also it would have been better. But yeah, a3 was played, which is okay, but not so great. Knight d4, yes. So the opponent says, yes, very good. I got the chance. Opponent, white has not moved his knight to f3 or e2. So my knight is okay now, very good in the center. So he played knight d4. Knight a4, Alekhine wants to exchange the knight for the bishop. Even the bishop would go to b6. White still has the chance to exchange the knight for a bishop, which is good. b5, so he says, yes. Black says, okay, you take my bishop, and even I would like to take your bishop. I don't want to exchange the bishop for a knight, but instead bishop for a bishop. That's the idea. Knight cross c5 and then b cross c4. So that has happened. Yes, so black has captured b cross c4, and now both the players have got bishops. Okay. Now the threat is again black can capture the knight, so you have to save the knight, and the only good square for the knight you can see is a4. You can't go to b3. You can't go anywhere here. Everywhere there is attack, and these squares are not vacant. So this is the move here. The attack is there. Of course, this side black has attacked. So knight a4. So what to do? And the best move is again this one, c cross d3. But he has not played that. Black played this queen d7. So he asked the question to this knight. The knight can't come ahead. So either you have to give support or move the knight to c3. And here white played knight c3. Okay. Again, here black had the chance to play c cross d3 and get rid of your double pawn with the opponent's good pawn, center pawn. But again, he didn't do that. So again, that's not a good idea. The other best move, you could say bishop a6 was good to give support. Okay, but here he played this bishop b7. So he's planning to attack on this. Yeah, but it's not that great. It is okay move, not the best one. Still, black has the slight advantage. Black had more advantage actually, but now it is little less. Knight, knight f3. Okay, development attacking this one, this knight. So when the opponent is having the advantage, when the opponent pieces are better, what are you supposed to do? It's a good idea. If you want to neutralize the position, you just, neutralize some of the important pieces of the opponent. You exchange them, and then your position can be better. Okay, your position can be very good if you compare to before. So that's why he is trying to now attacks on these other pieces, and he has a plan to exchange. Other than that, he has developed also, that is good, because if you want to do castle, obviously you have to develop that. Now here black doesn't want to exchange the knights. Okay, this knight with this, of course. uh, so he has played knight b5. Okay, knight b5 he has played, but actually, if you see, he could simply continue his developing move like castle, or even c5 was okay to give support with the side pawn. So in case if white capture, he can capture with this. But anyway, let's see the game. Knight b5 attacks this. It has a support, by the way. So white says, yeah, I have no issue with that. You can take it. So he did castle. Okay, but if you see, this bishop d2 was also a good move, or knight e2 was also okay, because this knight again was not that great. He has to come back here, and then that time you would have these two attacks on this, and that's why knight e2 or castle. Bishop d2 was okay, but he did castle, which is okay, not bad. Knight cross c3, b cross c3, and then queen c6. So he's inviting this so that white will have triple pawn, and the pawn structure, this pawn structure will be very bad. Obviously, white would not do that. So white has played this queen e1, yeah, because there are three attacks, okay, one, two, and three attacks, and there was only one support. So obviously, if the support is with the pawn, there is no problem, but the threat was this as well. Yeah, only this one was not attacked. There was an indirect threat, capture, capture, and then this one. Yeah. Otherwise, you have to give support with the queen like that. But still, yeah, he preferred to give support like this. And the other plan can be this. He wants to move the queen on the other side to attack on the king side. In case if the black plays short castle, he can attack on this side like this. Yeah, queen, bishop, they can attack very nicely. So here now it is not easy for black. He cannot do short castle, at least now. If he wants to do castle, then long castle is one option, but not short castle. So what to do? He plays bishop a6, which is the best. Yeah. So attacking on this now, one attack, two attacks, and one support. So he has asked question to this d3 pawn. White has to do something, and white played the best move, queen g3. So he says, okay, you take this pawn, I'll take this one, and I'll attack some other things as well. So I'm happy. Then rook g8. So you can't give this important pawn. Middle pawn normally are very important. Okay, because if you allow the opponent to take the middle pawn, then suddenly your side pawn, they become very, very weak. So normally it's a good idea. You don't allow the opponent to take the middle pawn. If there are three pawns like this at any side, then you don't give this. Yeah, at least if there is a choice to give this and take other opponent's pawn, don't give this most of the time. Saying, okay, there can be you can say rare chance that, yeah, sometimes it can be okay, because sometimes you have poison pawn thing. So that time it's okay, because if the opponent capture, and if you do long castle, you have a good chance to, you can say, a very good chance to get the open file and attack from this side. In that case, it is okay. But other than that, if you see somewhere, if there are three pawns, normally for the long term, it's not a good idea to give our middle pawn. So always remember this. Okay, here white has played d4, because he thought that, yeah, if I play this bishop would be bad, okay, because it's blocked by this, and then he can't do anything. But if you would have allowed him to exchange, then it would have been very good. So he said, yeah, I will move ahead, and if this pawn exchanges this like this, I will have single pawn instead of double pawn. So he would like to make single. For that, he played that. Knight cross e4 now attacks the queen and this. So see d4, you white plays d4, which has allowed black to capture this easily. And now it's looking like, yeah, black is doing good, not bad. So here, was it a good idea to play d4? And the answer was no. It was a bad move. Instead, he should have played bishop e3. Okay, develop the piece and give another support and keep the position like that. If opponent captures, you have support. So yeah, even if you will take this, you have some other good moves afterwards. But yeah, you have to continuously play, you can say active and not passive. This is like, you're doing this. Maybe white would like to, open the center, but black can do long castle anytime. So it would not be a like very big problem for him. Anyway, here knight cross e4. Now the problem is to this queen and the pawn. So he has to do something. He says, yes, I would save the queen, and I would, control this, and I would attack on this as well. So there are some attacks, but it's not so easy for white. Let's see what did black play. Black plays this bishop b7. Very interesting move. The idea is, of course, to move the knight somewhere, and if by mistake white captures with this, there is a checkmate possibility. With the help of this bishop, queen can directly do something on this side. So white has to be very careful. The battery is ready to attack on this side. In that case, you have to be careful. So many beginners, they allow this, checkmate to happen on the board, and they have the tendency to think only on one side of the board, and then they don't see the long term attack, or they don't see the whole board. That's the problem. We have to be very careful when this kind of situation is there. You should be sure about the safety of this pawn. So what to do? Let's see what did white play. White plays this rookie one, made attack on this, and yeah, from here he couldn't do rook f2. So maybe his plan is to play rook e2 and then save this. That can be one thing. Yeah, of course, but black can capture this, so he has to be careful. So here, black plays g5. He attacks this. If he plays the en passant, then he can have the open file. He can capture, or he has a choice to take with the pawn as well. So here, yes, that's what happened. F cross g6, and as I said, he doesn't want to take with this, because then you are giving this, plus you are blocking the rook. So good idea is to take with the rook, give support and control the open file. They took it with the rook. Now what to do? D cross e5. Again, the idea is to open the file so that he can attack on this side. And that was his plan when he played d4. So slowly, steadily, he's getting some sort of, you can say, success with this. But the problem is, you're attacking, but your attack is not that great. Opponent's attack is very, very good, and that's the main problem here for white. Okay, and that's why black has now huge advantage. Okay, now what to do? That is the important thing. Now here he has a very good move by the way, and actually he has not played that move, but that was quite like a great move, you can say. And here, black plays a d cross e5, which is a good move. Okay, you can say the second best move. He should do that. And though this knight can capture it, but still it's not that great, and that's why you shouldn't do it. But anyway, which was that best move? I would tell you first of all. And here, that best move, the great move was this knight. Okay, let me, yeah. Here you can see the position first. The rook is already attacking the bishop and queen. They are ready to attack this side. Only the problems are these two. So what do you have to do? You have to move these somewhere, and that's what he did. Suppose means he could have done knight d2. So the idea is now, if he captures this, of course, there is a directly checkmate. He can't take with that. Yeah, bishop can take it, but if you take with the bishop, again the same problem. that rook cross g2 would be there, and then the king can capture or king has to move, whatever he would do, it would be a faster checkmate. So if he plays this, then this check and king g1 and then queen g1. Yeah, so this is a threat, and that's why you can't take. But if you go here, the best move, still this queen cross f3, and there is a very serious threat. One, two, three pieces which are very strong, capable of attacking, very dangerous. So here it is unavoidable checkmate is there, and whatever you do, you cannot stop this checkmate. Yeah, the rook will move somewhere and it will be a checkmate soon, and that's why this is not a good variation for white. But the thing is, like, black has not found this good move. Okay, he has played the second best move, that is d cross e5, and we'll see the game. So rook e2 was played here. Okay, he gave support to this, as I said before. Rook e1 was played to come on this square only, and after this, now, the best move for black actually is rook d8. The idea, you can see, you have to involve more pieces into the attack, especially the pieces which are doing nothing. Like this rook a8 is not doing anything, not developed. And if you can get it, and if you can give this kind of threat, it's a very dangerous threat, and the opponent can have so many problems here. But again, the thing is, black has not found the best move or the great move here, and he found the second best move, and that is king f8. Yeah, he played this. So he says, yes, I will move the king here. I'll not keep it here on this file. The rook is there, and that's why king f8 is safer. But the rook d8 was very good, aggressive, attacking, or you can say active move. This is some sort of passive move, though it is still second best move. So here, let's see what happened now. Bishop cross h6 was played. It's a check to the king. So he has to take action, either king g8 or he has to capture. And guess what? He has captured. So sacrifice. Okay. Rook cross h6. Now here he can't take it. Yeah, if he would take, there is a problem. Okay, he has played queen e1 move here. But let me show you if what would happen if you would just capture and give this check. Of course, the queen is there. You can't do that. Yeah. So sometimes you don't see any piece on this side in this square, and you think that, yeah, it is okay, I can take it. But if you see some pieces are there away and still giving support, so you can't do that. You have to be very careful, especially beginners. They have to be careful. You have to see the attack supports. So there are two attacks, and that's why he can easily capture. And now one attack, one support, so you can't take it. So which is the next best move? You have to move the queen somewhere. You can't move here, and he has played queen e1. After queen e1, rook d8. Yeah, finally he got the rook out, and he controlled a very good open file. He could have also played something like, king g7, and there may be rook on this side somewhere. Like that also was a plan. But here, after this, yeah, he played rook d8, and now let's see, rook b1. So he is also, white is also trying to get the pieces out and play aggressive, or you can say active and not passive. Here, the threat is to capture. Once he will capture this, and then the next move is this. Okay, that's the threat. So you don't want that, and that's why bishop a8. So uh, Romanovsky has played bishop a8 and saved this. Now Alekhine played king h1. Okay, king h1 was played, but actually that's not so good because you're going on the same file of the opponent's rook. So what else could you play? Maybe a4 is one of the move, not so great, of course. h3 is another move, again not so great. But you have very few moves now, and opponent pieces, black pieces are very active, and you have very few chances. So let's see what happened in the game. So king h1 was played, and now queen d5. Again, slowly, steadily, black is getting the control. And after this, what is the idea of this? Of course, giving support to this, because this was one of the threat he could have captured. So he gave support. A4, And then f6, yeah, control, and maybe the queen can come on this side somewhere now. So that is also one more idea of playing f6. Plus he gave support. Now the queen doesn't have to give support to this. A5, so white has very few moves. He's just playing one of the moves. King f7, yeah. Is it a good idea to play this? Not, of course, because then rook cross this. E4, bishop takes and queen takes. So not good. King f7, the idea is to open this rook. He can go on this side now and attack from here, especially rook h8 and rook cross h2 is the threat. A6. So finally he reached there, and then afterwards he might even try to sacrifice this like this. So that's why he has moved this pawn all the way from here to here, because he has very few options to do anything special. So rook g8, okay, we have not played rook h8. Rook g8 is better here, and the threat here you can see afterwards. Rook e3, yeah. Here rook b7 is again best move, but he has not played that. Instead, he played rook e3, not so great. And here now black plays knight g5. So good move. This is the main problem now. Why can't you attack on this king with the queen and the bishop, which is ready for a long time? Because of these two, pawn and the knight. So black has now played this to get rid of the knight. Queen f1, okay, he gave support. He doesn't want to move the knight from there, but he says, yeah, you take it, I'll take afterwards. Knight cross f3, rook cross f3, and then queen d2. So, yeah, he has made attack over here. Plus, the bishop is open now, and the threat is to capture the rook. What to do? He captured this and gave check. Queen cross c4, bishop d5, threatening this queen. So, queen cross c7, king has to move, king e6. And here, white doesn't have so many checks now. Okay, all the squares are controlled, and he can't give check with the queen. So what to do? He has finally sacrificed another thing. So just to give some checks, but it's not going to help. It's just going to delay the process, delay the checkmate on white. That's it, but nothing special. A cross b6, after rook b6, a cross b6, queen cross b6, and then king f7. Here queen c7 check. So king f8. After that, queen d8 check. Sorry, queen d8 check, and then king g7. So the king just has to hide now, and then everything is fine. So rook g3 check is giving some pressure, but rook g6 is there, no problem. Queen d7 check, and now king h8. So yeah, rook h3 is still there. He did that, and now rook h6. So if you capture, queen is there, and then after that there is no check. And yeah, here finally white resign, Alekhine resign, because let's see what happens if you take it. Rook takes, queen takes, and now if you think you can take it, no. The problem is this, queen c1 check is coming, and then you can't stop it. If you do this, queen cross d1 is a checkmate. That's why you can't even capture that bishop. And then the other second best move you can say is this h3 or h4, but that will also not help, because after this h3, this queen c1 check is there, and king h2, and finally this rook cross h2 is there. So he cannot stop the checkmate for sure, and that's why white, Alekhine, has resigned. Okay, very good game.